Welcome back. You're watching BT. We joined Chris McCusker in the CityNews 680 Business Center. Chris, if only you could see what was happening in commercial break here. I had a bit of a microphone malfunction. There were two people that were just kind of like we had Julia and Jordy just kind of beep, 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 and they just ran away. Just now. Anyway, I'm in my head.
You know
We're
what?
good.
I've always said there should be a feed of the off-air
Oh, you don't want to
feed.
see that. Nope. Don't give people ideas. We don't want that, right?
It's true. It's true in radio stations too. If people only knew what went on behind the scenes, it's kind of fun.
Sometimes it's fun, yes,
Yeah.
and sometimes it's not for the morning show, you know what I'm saying? But it's okay. Chris McCusker now, let's talk business because we are looking ahead to a big day here.
Yes, so we're going to get Canadian GDP, Mel, and we're also going to get a flash estimate for the second quarter. And just for perspective, so real GDP grew by 0.8% in the first quarter of this year in Canada. That was a slowdown from the previous 2 quarters, but it was still on the plus side. So this is really going to be interesting because we did see a quarterly contraction in GDP in the U.S. yesterday, which is technically a recession. The U.S. administration, the Joe Biden administration, dismissing that at this point, and it's not kind of officially been declared, but it will be interesting to get a look at this data in Canada, which is set to be released at 8:30 this morning. Now, the technical recession in the U.S. does have markets moving higher because it's got investors thinking that the U.S. Federal Reserve is going to slow down that pace of interest rate hikes. Because if they're in a recession, you don't need to hike so aggressively. So that's got markets moving higher. U.S. markets actually looking at the best month since 2020. Bay Street is on track for a gain of 3% this month. And U.S. futures are moving higher this morning. We've got gold and oil higher this morning, so both should provide a lift to Bay Street. Oil is up by about 4% this week, Mel. And we know that, of course, if we've been to the gas station lately.
Oh, we know, all right.
Yes.
Let's get to Apple and Amazon. What's going on?
Yeah, well, it's sort of fun because these two stocks in and of themselves should provide a lift to sentiment going into the final day of trading for this week. So Apple, it seems, offered just enough to calm fears. The company's fiscal third quarter revenue and profit narrowly topped estimates, and then iPhone sales held up better than expected. Now, the CEO, Tim Cook, did outline a slew of headwinds going forward, but at the same time, he also predicted that sales would pick up in the coming months. The company, of course, had already warned earlier this year that supply chain issues could cut sales by $4 to $8 billion. At the end of the day, it worked out to less than $4 billion. So shares in Apple higher in pre-market trade. And then a mixed earnings report from Amazon. The company reported revenue of $121 billion in Q2, but a second consecutive quarterly loss of $2 billion, which was driven by a $3.9 billion write-down of the value of its stock investment in electric vehicle maker Rivian. Amazon says Q3 sales are expected to grow by 13 to 17%. So not such a great earnings report from Amazon, but a really good outlook. That stock, last I checked, was up by about 12% in pre-market trade.
All right, Chris, finally for you, got about 30 seconds left, but this is a goodie.
Yes.
Were you a fan of the Golden Girls?
I was secretly a fan. I didn't talk about it at the time, but yes, I was a fan. Were you a fan?
So you know this song. Finish the words, Chris. Ready?
Travel down the road and back again.
Yes, Chris McCusker. Woo! All right. I could listen to this all day long, but you've got a story about this.
Now, were you a fan?
I was, but
Okay.
kind of the same. Like we didn't compare notes with my friends on talking about it. But I want to go to this restaurant.
Yes, so this is a pop-up, Mel. It's opening tomorrow in Los Angeles, and it's set to travel around the U.S. I had a look around. I can't tell if it's coming to Canada, but I guess anything's possible. And this pop-up comes more than 30 years after the show went off the air. So thanks to syndication and its availability on Hulu, the show continues to be discovered by younger viewers. It's actually inspired a fan convention and even an off-Broadway puppet show. And Mel, if you're wondering, at this restaurant, yes, there is a lanai.
Okay. If you know,
that was
you know.
my big question, yes.
If you know, you know.
Yeah.
More on the puppet show, too. That's interesting. I didn't know about that. Chris, have yourself a wonderful long weekend. Thank you for being a friend.
You too.
Talk to you next week. Are you back? No.
No, you get Mr. Apple back
Mr.
Tuesday.
Apple is back. All right, take care of yourself. We'll talk to you again.
Okay.